You guys do well behaved?
Good morning. Please stand and body your spirit as we sing our gathering music, This Little Light of Mine, number 118, your Grady hymnal. Welcome to the Unitarian community and or covenant community committed to loving and supporting each other in our individual lifelong quest for truth and meaning in matters of our personal faith. Welcome to you, old friends and new. You are an essential part of our celebration today. Whether today is your first or your 1000th in our midst, we are stronger because you are with us. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. Just as you are welcome here. Everyone, please turn and welcome those sitting around you with a hearty good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
My name is Jenny Kiles, and I'm the worship coordinator for today's service. As a lay-led congregation, there are many contributors, many behind the scenes, who make our services possible. So we give a big thank you to everyone who helps make this a great place to gather and learn and grow in spirit, love, and community. I want to briefly welcome Reverend Allison Eskildsen. And I'll tell you more about her before her sermon. Before we create our time for worship, I'd like to remind everyone that after this service, we will enjoy coffee and tea in the back of the sanctuary. If you are visiting today, please consider staying so we can get to know you a little better. Also, please take a moment to look at your order of service to see the announcements on the back. And now we can take a brief moment to share any other important announcements that are not listed in the order of service. Everyone, also please check to see that your cell phone is either turned off or silenced.
Alicia. Today after service, the bylaws task force will be meeting, and the main topics that we'll be discussing are right-size governance and consensus. So if you have any thoughts about either of those topics that you would like to share with us, please feel free to let me know or come in at the beginning part of our meeting and just tell us your thoughts so that we can take that into account. My second announcement is that on January 11th, our speaker will be Lenore from the Piedmont Farm Animal Refuge, and I have arranged for after the service that day to screen a documentary called Forever Home, which is about the building of the Piedmont Farm Animal Refuge. So that will be timely about that same topic. So just stay tuned for more information about the movie screening.
Hi, I'm Kim, and I just want to put in a plug that if you have ever lost something here, we have a little lost and found cubby in that little bookshelf just inside the front door. There's a lot of water bottles, guys. Check it out. Thanks. So some of you may have seen every Saturday at 11, between 11 and 12, there's people gathered downtown with signs. And it's a protest against the Trump administration. It's a group called Concerned Carolinians. And I have driven past them many times. The group started out really small, but it's grown bigger and bigger. And I'm always like on my way somewhere, or I'm like, I don't have time or whatever. But this Saturday when I was coming back from the farmer's market, I decided, okay, I'm gonna join them. So I parked my car and I went and I joined them, and they're just a really wonderful group of people. And they would really love it to have more people from our congregation show up. So it's every single Saturday from 11 to 12 in downtown Hillsborough. You could just make a sign, they keep it family friendly. So yeah, just make a sign and show up, and I'm definitely gonna be doing it regularly. I can't next Saturday, but if anybody would like to join me, that would be awesome.
Hey, I'm just here to make a quick announcement, kind of retracting something on the back of the order of service. D&D at 3 p.m. today for the Children's Youth Group is unfortunately not going to be happening today. If you didn't get the email chain about that, Aurora is very sick currently and won't be able to make it. So we're looking to reschedule to January 4th. Just wanted to make sure that anyone who didn't know doesn't show up and find no one here.
Hi, I'm Patty, and I am a co-chair of their care team, and we have two members. I'm not sure Tim Woody's status. He's not a member, but he's a friend, a long-term friend of our congregation. Many of you know him personally. He had a really significant, serious hiking accident, and I think both of his ankles need to be repaired somehow. It's going to be a long haul for him. This is a card, it's a blank, sign your name, you don't have to know him, to just wish him well. And our other member is Jean-Michel Margot, who I have not heard about. He was hospitalized, he's home, I can't reach.
He's not home, I saw him,
Is he in?
I saw him this week.
Did you? Where is he?
You want me to say?
I do, because I haven't been able to.
He's in Brookshire still, but he is coming home on Wednesday.
Okay.
We sent him one card, yeah, and here's another, to just wish him well in his recovery. I haven't been able to reach AJ, unfortunately. I'm sure she's spending much time with him up there. So anyway, I'll leave them on the altar, okay?
Okay, starting to the end. Aviva's gonna light them. Aviva is going to light the menorah. You only need to light the chalice.
Amy, and I have invitations to the Christmas Day party. I haven't seen anybody here yet who might be interested, but anybody who, or if you know anybody who is going to be alone on Christmas Day and would like to have a party, invitations will be on the altar.
If
If there are no more announcements, let's prepare ourselves for our time of reflection and celebration by reminding ourselves of who we are and why we gather. We are Unitarian Universalists. Unitarian Universalism draws from our heritages of freedom, reason, hope, and courage, building on the foundation of love. Love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. Our chalice lighter this morning is PAL. We light this chalice as a symbol of our free faith. We light this chalice to remember the miracle of the oil that burned for 8 days. We light this chalice to mark the nights of midwinter. We light this chalice as we wait for the sun to return.
You don't need to light anything up. Thank you.
Open words.
Open words. I'm sorry. The joys of live worship. Sometimes we have to figure things out. So, as Jenny said in some of her earlier remarks, we Unitarian Universalists draw from many sources for insight and wisdom. The world is just too complex, and there are too many cultures, too many truths, small t, for us to ever claim that there is only one capital T truth. And so we look to wisdom wherever it can be found. And this morning we explore the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah for what message it might have for us as Unitarian Universalists. Hanukkah is actually just a minor holiday within all of the Jewish holidays throughout the year. But in the United States, it really has become a more major holiday, in large part because it gives Jews some identity, some way to proclaim their identity at a time when the world is focused on Christmas, the rest of the country, and the stores and everything. So it has become a bigger deal here in this country than it has been elsewhere. The first night of Hanukkah begins today, and in a moment, Aviva will light our menorah for us. The menorah is actually called a Hanukkah. It's the special menorah with 9 branches instead of the usual 7. Hanukkah is not the only holiday during the season. Not only is it Christmas, but for many Christians and Unitarian Universalists, they're celebrating or observing Advent. Today is the 3rd Sunday of Advent, which is marking the weeks leading up to Christmas and the designated birth of Jesus. One of the things about the Advent calendar, or the Advent wreath, is it's in a circle of evergreen leaves, traditionally, and that harkens back to pagan times when the wreath represented everlasting life, that green, that hope for spring would come. And we have our chalice, we have our menorah, we have our beautiful Christmas tree here, all adding light to this season of darkness. It is good to be together in a season of darkness, and sadly we've had some dark news this weekend. Yesterday was the shooting at Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island, where some people have died, and at least 10 or 11 people have died in Australia because of an anti-Semitic shooting on the first night of Hanukkah. Of course, Australia seeing the arrival of sundown for the beginning of Hanukkah. Dark times in this world. So we need all the light that we can give to it. Aviva, would you like to light our menorah to add some light to this sanctuary?
Okay, so just to say a few words about this menorah, it's my menorah, and it's been passed down in my family. It's at least 100 years old. I know that it was given to my grandparents as a wedding present, and that would have been like the mid-1920s, and they were living in Berlin, Germany, and we all know what happened in Germany. And so somehow when my family left, they left early enough when people were still allowed to leave, were able to get out, and somehow they managed to take this with them. And legend has it that, so the base of the menorah is hollow. Legend has it that they actually had borrowed silver that they put in there and they smuggled it out with them. So the blessing, I'm going to say it has the traditional words, but the melody is different from what most people know, and it's a melody that's been passed down in my family. But I'll just go ahead and do the translation first, and then I'll do the blessing in Hebrew. So it's there's 3 verses, and tonight is the first night, so we say the 3rd verse. On all the other nights, you just say the first 2 verses, but on the first night, which is tonight at sundown, we sing all 3 verses. So the first verse: Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who sanctified us with his commandments and commanded us to kindle the Hanukkah lights. And the second verse: Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, who brought miracles to our ancestors in days of old in this season. And then the 3rd verse is, Blessed art thou, Lord our God, who gave us life and sustained us and brought us forward into this time.
In the Hebrew?
I'll do it.
Okay. So she's lighting our Shabbos candle, which is the worker candle used to light.
Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Hanukkah. Baruch atah Adonai, she'asa nisim le'avoteinu, bayamim hahem ubazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai, she'hechianu v'kimanu, v'higianu lazman hazeh.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Aviva. Like Aviva, many Unitarian Universalists have Jewish heritage. And so we are not pretending to be Jewish this morning. We are honoring the heritage and the culture that many of us share. And by sharing some of the rituals of that faith, we gain greater understanding of that faith. So thank you for being here this morning for our exploration. Oh, please rise in body, heart, and spirit and sing our opening hymn 346. Come sing a song with me.
When hope is
Sharing joys and sorrows is a special ritual in our Sunday services. The ritual happens in two parts. First, we take time to share out loud, and then we make time for silent acknowledgments of concerns and sorrows or joys or special milestones that have occurred since we last gathered. Both parts include dropping stones into the vase on the altar, symbolizing a metaphoric communal collection of our experiences. By taking time to share, we strengthen the bonds between us. First, we take time to share aloud. We do not record what is shared aloud, so for those of us joining online, there will be a short break here while people speak. If you are joining us online and would like to share your joys or concerns with us in the room, please put it in the chat and tell us whether you'd like it read aloud, and we'll drop a stone for you. If you feel moved to speak, we invite you to take a moment to center yourself and gather your thoughts. We kindly ask that you speak from the heart and keep your words short and meaningful. We hold all these things in the heart of our community, both spoken and unspoken, by remaining silent for a moment as we consider what has been shared and how we might respond. Let us close our sharing time by saying together, Amen and blessed be. Amen and blessed be. Now I'd like to ask our RE teacher to tell us what the kids will be up to in RE today. Then we will bless our RE classes on their way by singing the words printed on the back of your gray hymnal or in your order of service.
So as you heard, Aurora is not here. The older kids are welcome to join the elementary class. We will be exploring the value of pluralism.
This morning we have two readings. The first reading summarizes the origin of Hanukkah, which appeared in an article in the Washington Post by Rabbi Jonathan Sachs. In about 165 BC, Antiochus IV, ruler of the Syrian branch of the Alexandrian Empire, began to impose Greek culture on the Jews of the land of Israel. Funds were diverted from the temple to public games and drama competitions. A statue of Zeus was erected in Jerusalem. Jewish religious rituals, such as circumcision and the observance of the Sabbath, were banned. Those who kept them were persecuted. It was one of the great crises in Jewish history. There was a real possibility that Judaism, the world's first monotheistic faith, would be eclipsed. A group of Jewish pietists rose in rebellion. Led by a priest, Mattathias of Modin, and his son Judah Maccabee, they began the fight for liberty. Outnumbered, they suffered heavy initial casualties, but within 3 years they had secured a momentous victory. Jerusalem was restored to Jewish hands. The temple was rededicated. The celebrations lasted for 8 days. Hanukkah, which means rededication, was established as a festival to perpetuate the memory of those days. The second reading is titled Hanukkah by Reverend Mark Bellatini, and Aviva is going to help me out with this one. The miracle is not that the oil lasts, but that our hope lasts despite disappointment.
Baruch atah tikva. Blessed are you, hope.
The miracle is not that fire illumines, but that we grow brighter.
Baruch atah zohar. Blessed are you, brightness.
The miracle is not that people tell ancient stories, but that people dare to live their own stories.
Baruch atah midrashim. Blessed are you, stories.
The miracle is not that tyranny is resisted, but that resistance recreates us into new beings.
Baruch atah chadash. Blessed are you, new being.
The miracle is not that courage exists, but that courage does not every time have to ball itself into a fist.
Baruch atah chayil. Blessed are you, courage.
Each Sunday, we take up a monetary offering to support various worthy causes. For the month of December, our plate offering will go to Orange County Justice United. Justice United is a broad-based community power organization rooted in the congregations and neighborhoods of Orange County. Please donate by placing cash or checks in the offering basket. If by check, please write plate in the memo line, or you can go to our website, uuchnc.org, and click on the donate button, or you can use the QR code printed in your order of service. We thank you for your generosity.
Turning, turning, spirits yearning, reaching for the night. Colors going, shadows growing, darkening the light. Ancient story told, renewed with the cold mystery of light, burnt into the night. Turning, turning, spirits yearning, reaching for the night. Colors going, shadows growing, darkening the light. Ancient story told, renewed with the cold mystery of light, burned into the night.
Turning, turning, spirits yearning,
Turning, turning, spirits yearning, reaching for the night. Showers growing, shadows growing, darkening the light. Ancient story told, renewed with the mystery of light, burned into the night. Turning, turning, spirits yearning, reaching for the night. Showers going, shadows growing, darkening the light. Ancient story told, renewed with the cold mystery of light, burned into the night.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Did any of you happen to watch the Ken Burns documentary on the American Revolution that was on PBS recently? Yeah, a few of you. I found it amazing and inspiring, even though it's a familiar story that we all think are taught in school, that a sort of ragtag collection of people, colonials, with little or no military training and equally little or no clothing or food through much of their time. They had enough spirit and a vision for what they wanted the colonies to become, that they managed to gain their independence from the British Crown. It's also a bit sobering to have learned that over 25,000 lives were lost on each side of the fight. And I had no idea just how many battles the colonials lost and how many lives were really lost. And the other surprising thing for me, and I don't know if this is true for you or not, but it was really our first civil war. I imagine that the Patriots fight against the British and the Hessians, but they were fighting against fellow colonials, fellow Americans, the Loyalists, Patriot against Loyalists. And Burns even described one occasion during a battle where a brother saw his brother across the river and they ran into the river to hug each other. So, you know, it was an amazing documentary. The documentary reminds me now of the Jewish fight of the Maccabees. They were fighting a stronger, more well-trained army with more weapons. The Syrian Greek army of, as I grew up saying Antiochus, we have Antiochus or Antiochus. I don't know how you all pronounce that name, but for me, I'm going to pronounce it Antiochus. He had decreed that the whole kingdom, and this is from the decree, the whole kingdom should be one people, and each nation must give up its customs. And that meant that the Jews could not practice their religion, that they had to follow Greek pagan religion. But the pious Maccabees did not want to follow that edict. And after 3 years of guerrilla-style warfare and the death of Antiochus and some Syrian economic hardship, the Maccabees won the right to remain Jewish, and they gained full political independence. Upon securing their freedom, they cleansed and defiled the defiled Jerusalem temple of pagan Greek influences, most notably an idol of Zeus and pig's blood from sacrifices on their altar. The rabbis declared 8 holy days of remembrance after rededicating the temple to their one God. Hanukkah means either rededication or dedication. Unfortunately, the Jewish independence didn't last. Judea became part of the expanding Roman Republic 100 years later. In Rabbi Sachs' brief historical summary that Jenny read earlier, Sachs did not mention anything about a miracle of oil. That's because the story didn't appear until 600 years later, well after both the Maccabee win over the Syrian Greek army and the Jews' subsequent defeat and assimilation into the Roman Republic. The rabbis adjusted to this reality by shifting the focus from the military victory, a human victory, into a claim that God had performed a miracle, and that should be celebrated instead. The miracle story is told in the Talmud, a collection of laws and moral stories collected after the Hebrew Bible was canonized or set. The familiar story says that after than 7 days. On this new focus for the Hanukkah observance, Rabbi Irving Greenberg explains in his book, The Jewish Way, quote, as a new spiritual leadership dealing with the religious challenge of Jewry's survival after the loss of sovereignty and power, the rabbis stressed the divine miracle to the exclusion of military and diplomatic acts and the sovereignty exercised by the Maccabees. Over the centuries, the emphasis of the holiday has continued to shift between the military victory and divine intervention to meet the needs of specific times and places. For many today, neither of these holds primary place. Instead, Hanukkah simply serves as a symbol of religious freedom. Whichever emphasis you choose, underlying them all remains one central theme: hope. Given the overwhelming odds against the success of the Maccabees' fight, they might not have tried. But like the American patriots, the Jewish rebels had a hope and a vision for something better than what they had. And given that they had only one container of oil, not a week's worth, they might not have bothered to even light the fire, the flame. But the rabbis had a hope and a vision for God's continued involvement in their lives, and that vision and hope prompted them to act anyway. We don't have to be Jewish for Hanukkah to meaningfully remind us to hold on to our visions and hope for something better, even if it seems impossible. Hope is not sitting back and passively waiting for things to get better. Hope is the start of making things better and realizing our visions. Opponents of any desired change want people to lose hope, to despair, to give up and not work for change. Hope becomes an act of defiance against such oppression. Hopeful people face disturbing realities, but by remembering past successes and imagining future possibilities, people can be motivated to act. Confirming this, Christian theologian Walter Brueggemann writes, quote, "Memory produces hope in the same way amnesia produces despair. Past successes fuel hopeful acts." Consider the change in social attitudes towards homosexuality and same-sex marriage. We spoke up. We acted against those who called it immoral or a mental illness. Over time, we greatly normalized it. Sure, there's still work to be done, but progress is being made to better reflect our values. And that progress is giving hope to the trans community that maybe their changes, their identities will one day be more normalized than it is now. We spoke up and helped make abortion legal too. It took a long time to make it legal, but then others worked long to undo its constitutional protections. And it may take just as long to reverse that Supreme Court decision. But I'm not giving up hope. I have a vision where women, girls, trans men, and intersex persons with uteruses, all people who can become pregnant, all people will be guaranteed full reproductive health care. And I'm acting to bring about that change. And your congregation's involvement in the Interfaith Voices for Reproductive Freedom is part of that work too. Change doesn't always happen quickly, but numerous acts, big and small, can realize the change we wish to see. One small act involves the Jewish tradition of placing a lit Hanukkah in a window, a place where other people can see it, or if there's no window, in a prominent place in your home. The light proclaims to all who see it that dreams come true and miracles can happen. Our dreams for a healthier planet, acceptance for diversity, and greater democracy can be realized if we speak up, if we vote strong, and generally let our light shine out for all to see. A glowing candelabra placed in a window serves as a beacon, a signal that here is a sanctuary for someone lost in the dark. It shines so that others know light still exists. Hope still exists. Darkness has not snuffed out all our hopes and dreams. And the more lights that shine, whether in Hanukkahs, Advent wreaths, chalices, or solstice bonfires, that collective light drives away any gloom and doom. And I'm not only referring to actual physical lights. Each of us has an internal spiritual light, perhaps that divine spark within. We need to keep that light glowing too, so that others in despair or whose spirits are down will see our light and be comforted. Observing our lights might help restore their spirits. If current times feel dark and oppressive because freedom and democracy are disappearing, and intolerance, discourtesy, and violence are increasing, now more than ever, we need the light of hope. We need its power to conquer this vile darkness. Author-activist Rebecca Solnit encourages us to act. She points out in her book, Hope in the Dark, quote, "Hope locates itself in the premises that we don't know what will happen, and in the spaciousness of uncertainty is room to act. When you recognize uncertainty, you recognize that you may be able to influence the outcomes. You alone, or you in concert with a few dozen or several million others. Hope is an embrace of the unknown and the unknowable, an alternative to the certainty of both optimists and pessimists. Optimists think it will all be fine without our involvement. Pessimists take the opposite position, but both excuse themselves from acting. Hope is the belief that what we do matters. What we do does matter. In the face of uncertainty, we've acted and won. One ragtag army of patriots can be enough. One jar of oil can be enough. Starting with whatever we have, such as an army of lawyers and protesters, can be enough. To do nothing guarantees an increase in our darkness and despair. In her book, Solnit also adds, darkness can be a womb or a grave. May our current darkness not be a grave, but a womb where we can prepare and stir up what's needed to act upon our hopes and dreams for a better America. May we cleanse our American temple and rededicate ourselves to the change we wish to see. And may our candles of hope burn brightly for all to see. Let's sing about lighting our candles. Please rise in body or in spirit for our closing hymn, number 221, Light One Candle.
Thank you.
To close our service, I share the words of Reverend Michelle Collins. Go from this place knowing that hope is not a certainty, but rather a choice. When the world offers you despair, choose possibility. When cynicism seems reasonable, choose engagement. May our hope be grounded in love and expressed through action. And may we return here when we need to find the courage to choose again. And even though we are about to extinguish our chalice flame, we know that it truly never goes out as long as we hold it in our hearts.
Now please join me as we extinguish our sacred UU flame. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Go in peace, my friends, and blessed be.